Hi, welcome to AUMARCHE, and today we have Tara in our room to talk about her design and her new venture of her jewelry brand and her vision. So, Tara, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Tara. Basically, I'm from Hong Kong and I'm an entrepreneur, a jewelry designer, and also a fashion designer. So I graduated in London back then and have been majored in womenswear design and have been working in luxury industry for a while in London and Paris and in Milan. Yes, so now I'm back in Hong Kong.
So, you just started your new jewelry line, like jewelry brand. So, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. So basically, um, living in London and Milan and Paris, it's such like a vibrant art culture, like very heavy art cultural
Hmm.
cities, I must say, and
Yeah.
surrounded by all of these beautiful architecture and every like little things, even like from a staircase to a cathedral, it's so
Yeah.
appreciable, like all the little details. I think it's been so I've been like appreciating a lot of like different little things in my life, I think, because
Mhm.
from the experiences in abroad, especially as an Asian. My brand is actually founded with my best friend. Her name is Jenny. So we met back then in London. So our brand is called La Mandorle, which is a jewelry design studio exploring like organic shapes, people, subculture, life moments, and like architecture
Mhm.
and everything in life. Yeah.
So,
And
yeah, sorry, keep on.
oh, okay, you can go on.
So what's La Mandorle means and
Okay.
is it Italian?
Yes, so stemming from my Italian influences,
Yeah.
because I literally have came back from Milan after 2 years to Hong Kong now. So La Madonna is actually means the almond in Italian, which
Mhm.
the reason why we chose the almond is because it's actually a seed of a almond tree. It's not
Yeah.
actually a almond is not actually so we want it to be like a seed of a tree to grow and sprout to a different sector
Mm.
and to branch out to appreciate different organic shapes to make it as a sculpture, a wearing sculpture for our customers. And this is the direction we're going to. It's more like a sustainable and very eco-friendly brand image. Yeah.
Yeah, also like kind of feel like almond. It's almost make it feel a little bit more fresh and like really like natural in a way. I really
Yeah.
like the way that you said that you went to those so many cities. You lived in like Milan, Paris, and London. Then you have like all this like even like building itself can be like really sculptural and have this like own like organic shape in a way. So when you look at it from the other way around, it's really interesting. So just wonder like apart from that, so what's your normal maybe let me see which one should I ask first. Maybe I should ask for like how about your design approach? Like through like your vision or like how do you get your inspirations or like is it from craftsmanship or like is it more like yeah art in general? But you say like it's about like it's really, sometimes really about like the sculpture. Like is there any other thing that can tell me?
So basically, in general, we are very fascinated by all the little things around us, our surrounding. Let's say for like objects or people or life
Yeah.
moments, architecture, art, or photography, or some even
Mm.
like anything you can
Humanity in a
count
way.
on.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, exactly. So we would like to take this approach to design a more like timeless yet bold and refined jewelry pieces. So basically, for us, I think we are more sculpture based, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
for us, I think jewelry is like a sculpture piece. Basically, you'll be able to wear it on you, and you can walk
Yeah.
around with it. So therefore, it's not just like a accessories. I would say. I think it's a wearable sculpture.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah, keep on. Sorry.
Okay, so therefore, I think for our designed approach, a lot of people would think that, oh, when you're designing, you draw, you sketch, and you just
Hmm.
pass it through. But I
Yeah.
don't. This is the way to really think about this because, you know, jewelries or even clothes, they're not flat, they're 3D. So you have to think about in like it's a 3D dimension, the weight of it, or the movement, how it hangs on you, how it feels on you, how it sits on you. So it's like a relationship
Mm.
between an object and yourself.
Ah,
Yeah. So
that's
I
really
think,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, no, no. So yeah, we do really work a lot in 3D. Let's say
Mm.
for like using, doing research in like actual objects, or even having like wax to be printed in 3D printing, and also we would like
Oh.
work with some clay as well to create some
Yeah.
like more interesting shapes rather than like, oh, you just draw it and you proceeded. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so because I think it's really interesting because you when you said like the jewelry is almost a little bit more like object because I interviewed the other girl like another shoe designers. She also said like the shoe design is almost like an object to her because in a way like it is more like a thing that you can just become sort of kind of like art piece in a way. You can just put there and looks like enjoy it and I see like oh how beautiful it is. And jewelry is almost like a miniature things of that, like just like a small little art piece I could just take away with you. And I think this is really interesting. But as I know, like before, like you did women's wear, right?
Yes. Yeah. So for
Yeah.
me,
So I mean, of course, I already know because we studied together. And then, so like, so like, it's. I mean, even though like a lot of people think that fashion, like including women's wear, jewelry, shoes, and whatever, but it is so different. Like, what inspired you to do jewelry, or like is there anything that is really different from women's wear? Because I imagine it could be quite different.
yeah, I think this brings back to my work experience, which, you know, I've been working in Celine and Jil Sander, which is the luxury houses for like
Yeah.
design, especially for women's wear. And um, I think it really helped me to develop like strength for and keep a detail of, you know, an eye of to look at details and like how you handle stuff in a product way. And
Mm-hmm.
in general, I think for luxury houses, there's like a lot of budget to
Mm-hmm.
compare with normal ones.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
therefore, like we have more chances to explore in different ways, to do research, making, developing, or all the little things it's considered, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been working in 3D ways to develop and design, which I think, as I mentioned before, it is not just about the flat piece.
Yeah,
It's
drawing. Yeah.
you interact with your body, like the
Mm-hmm.
pieces, no matter with clothing or jewelry design. I think it's the same. It's also the same way of designing, I think, because you know when you have to like think about the three dimension or the movement, the weight, the tactile. It's actually the same way of thinking and designing. People do really ask me why jewelry. I will tell them, to be honest, jewelry and clothing is like very tightly related. And design wise, I see it in the same way. Yeah. It's just in
Yeah.
different basic materials.
Yeah, I think it's sort of kind of like just like fulfill your vision of like design and different things from like clothing to jewelry. So you talk about your like work experience. Can you like tell me a little bit more details about it? Like as with Celine and with like Jil Sander.
Okay. So when I was in Celine, I actually went to Celine when I was in my second year.
Yeah.
And it was an internship to start with.
Mhm.
I would say work experience, it's very important, especially
Yeah,
in design, because I
definitely.
really learned most of my techniques or the way of thinking or the way I work or even myself, how am I now? I think I've
Hmm.
really developed a lot from my work experience. And then afterwards, like to develop your own style on top of it. And
Yeah.
in Celine, I worked really much in more in 3D designing, in 3D realization, like how do you actually make something that from a flat or from an idea, basically.
Hmm.
And this really helped me to develop further from, let's say, in jewelry design or other different thing, because it's the execution, I think. where you make it real. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for Jil Sander, I was a womenswear runway designer, and our team is quite small actually. So 4 of us, we manage like the whole runway team, runway show for womenswear. Yeah, I would say it's tough. I mean, it's tough, but I did really learn a lot to work with amazing people, to be inspired, and also to inspire people as well. So it's like the dream, I know, for a lot of people. And yeah, so this is a really good experience for me, and it really developed me as who I am as a designer, as everything, I think, in general. Yeah.
I like it because I think like even though like a lot of people think that okay like women's wear is clothes and now like jewelry is quite different, but in a way still sort of can get the relationship or connection between the two of your design because you know in Celine and in Jil Sander in a way they're a little bit more like structural in a way because you know Celine when it was like Phoebe Philo it was just I mean they're famous for their like jacket or like something a little bit more like shapy in a way and playful. And obviously all the buckles and all like different like hardware is really interesting. And I can see sort of kind of see the ideas towards that. And I like your design because I think it is like sort of kind of organic in a way because I think it is nothing that will be like, oh, this is a little bit too like it's either this or that, but it's like something that you can actually appreciate from different angle of like how, what the shape will look like and how like that. So yeah, I think that's really interesting. So do you think that like this like soft material will be something that like ideas into like heart is something that you're thinking about in a way?
I think further on we will develop more from that because now at this stage we would be launching our first collection in coming July. Yeah. So for that, we're more focusing on like the metals that we're using, how we sculpt the metals in different interesting forms, and the materials that we're using are like very sustainable and recycled metals as well. And we really want to like maximize to produce like very high quality goods, but in a very affordable way for people. And it's like hypoallergenic, hypoallergenic. Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah, it's just basically like it's safer. Like people wouldn't be allergic about the metal because I mean sometimes it is like really easy to get like allergic to like copper or something. I mean for some people, but like I think your materials are for anti-allergic reaction. Right?
Yeah.
Sounds really good. So yeah, I like it. And then how about like because you said so for this so you have like different collection, right? For yeah, sorry, for this collection, like is there any special like topic or like theme or vision?
Okay, so for now, this collection, we're looking at a lot of like natural organic shapes, really. And
Yeah.
we're just exploring like the branches of the trees or how the water droplets are. And most of that is like more organic, like seeds and stuff like this. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So that's why like you're like this is a little bit more like a drop. So what you say seeds? I saw like one of your thing that's it's a little bit of like a packet of like paper thing that with like seeds in the paper, right?
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit of that? Because I'm so curious.
I can show you this all. So for me, because this brand is very like sustainable and all our packagings are like very carefully sourced. So we are actually using some of our packagings are handmade seed paper. Yes. So these are basically hand beaded with black-eyed Susan seeds and also sesame seeds. So you can actually plant it as like a real plant.
Yeah. Wait, the whole paper?
Yes.
That's so cool. Yeah.
So this is like, so you can actually tear it down, soak it in water, and then like plant it without a bag.
Oh, so wait, that little dots are the seeds.
Yes, you will be able to see it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So like you can have like a sort of kind of smaller forest in your house. What kind of seeds is
Exactly.
it?
It's a black-eyed Susan. It's like a sunflower seed and also a sesame. So it's a mixture of it.
Uh, so what inspired you to have
Yeah.
like uh the seeded paper? Is it also like
Okay.
because
So
of the yeah,
because yeah,
sorry,
so
sorry.
I think we think that sustainability really starts with responsible sourcing and individuals and even institution. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just not about like, okay, you have to think about a lot of different small steps that you're doing to in order to help the world. I think it's not
Yeah,
just like, well, I can't do it, so I don't do it. There's a lot
yeah,
of people
uh-huh.
are thinking, oh,
Different
because
ways,
it's
yeah.
difficult, so that's why, yeah, we don't approach it this way. But I mean, yes, it's very hard to source very eco-friendly goods or
Mm-hmm.
packaging, I would say. For us, it was a challenging as well. There's a lot of limitation in like even designing or the color we use. So we tend to have like very um, mm, off-white, beigey color because we don't want it
Mm-hmm.
to be like bleach for the
Yeah.
environment is good. And most of our stuff are, no, actually all of our packagings are like recyclable and recycled.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's really interesting. And so as for sustainability, I want to dig in a little bit deeper about that. So with a sustainable approach, I mean, is there anything you can tell me about for your brand?
Okay. So we use like acid-free paper and cards in all the papers that we use basically. And
Mm-hmm.
then we have a recyclable like box packaging. And then for our jewelry pouch bag, it's 100% linen. And then it's
Yeah.
organic with unbleached. It's like this. Look it.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. And then like our paper bags are actually machine
Mm.
washable. So you can actually chuck it into your machine
Oh,
and yes.
so you can
So
use it again and again.
yes, this is like
Oh,
a paper.
wow. That's so cool. I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's in a way, I love this like kind of like a human touch to it. Instead of just like, you know what I mean? Because you like a lot of things, you want it to be the same. And like just sort of kind of lose this like warmness inside. Um, so I speak to you
Mm.
before and you told me about like your ideas towards fast fashion and sort of kind of slow fashion in a way. So slow fashion is also the other
Yes.
approach of
So
sustainability, right? Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
yes, 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 for sure. So when you talk about like fast fashion and slow fashion, I think fast fashion for me is like um, very low in cost and time and
Mm-hmm.
in cost basically. So
Yeah.
they just deliver like more lower cost goods, which to compete with the rest of the fashion industry, which
Mm-hmm.
is pushing the boundary and pushing the manufacturer standard beyond like the sustainability and ethical norms, I think, in general because this just so easy and like as far as yeah I just mentioned before like because it's easier and it's how to make money I guess in their mind. Easy access for people would just be quick. I buy and I wear it once and I throw it away, which
Yeah.
is not the approach that we would like to go for. While slow fashion, it's more like it's about quality, I think, in
Mm-hmm.
general. It's all about quality and very carefully sourced, even manufacture or even materials wise. It's carefully thought, which I think people should really um, pay more attention in all these companies because it really delivers higher quality products in a fair cost. It's not, if you
Mm,
think about the margin for fast fashion, it's actually very high because, I mean, they're selling very low price already though, but
yeah.
then because they're producing such a big batch of amount, their
Mm-hmm.
cost is actually so much lower than a slow fashion company that could offer. So maybe people would think that, okay, for fast fashion, it's easy, it's cheaper. Why would I have to get into look for a
Yeah.
slow fashion brand? But I think this is a very wrong way of thinking. But to be honest, I'm quite happy that like these days people are more concerned in this
About
area.
sustainability,
Like
yes.
Yes. Like for, looking for like good quality and uphold ethical manufacturing standard,
Mm.
and like for lower environmental impact.
Yeah,
This is
because yeah,
yeah.
sorry. Because you said about like fast fashion, I mean, it is sometimes just really amazed me by like, for example, a t-shirt can be like less than like, for example, £5. I mean, like just think about like what the material that how cheap the material is and
Yes.
how bad the working condition for those people is, and including the shippings and everything. And then like for all this, I mean, they probably have that stock, and then like they probably after a week they'll have another bunch of like new design with the same kind of thing. And just like it sort of kind of trace back to like the basic of like the material itself. Is it really safe, or is it really ethical to actually wear the fast fashion clothing? This is something that I think that people should actually have like this ideas or concern about in a way. And I do like the way of your ideas towards slow fashion, or in a way, I think what you're making is not only just slow fashion, it's sort of kind of like an art piece in a way. So that's something that it can last for quite a long time. For example, a lot of like amazing like this is probably not right example, a lot of amazing like for example lamp, like because I was doing like decoration this day, and then you find this design is actually dated back to the 50s and people still using it because the shape of it looks really interesting, and it's almost like a sculpture in a way. So that's why I got this idea through like this art piece jewelry thing. So I think like that idea is really interesting. So for next question, I want to ask about collaboration, because I know you have a lot of upcoming collaboration coming up. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. So basically, so I have mentioned that for La Mandorle is actually means the seed of the tree, which we have the same approach that we would like to reach out and branch out into different sectors. Let's say for like photography, even pottery or floristry and art and craft, everything like this, that or even music. I think it's a very interesting way to be inspired and to inspire the others and work together to create more interesting things, because these are what unpredictable things could happen, and this will be like a very interesting designs or like a collaboration together. And for example, we are going to collaborate with a few of the photographers. One, she is in Berlin, and then she would took
Yeah.
some like a very still life mood video, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And also for the later on collection, we are actually thinking to collaborate with a pottery ceramics designer, which it could be a way of merging like wearable sculpture together
Mm-hmm.
in metal forms and ceramics forms. Yeah. So I think this can be a very interesting like a way of approach to do more interesting design and yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really cool because like it's almost like using our vision to sort of kind of like make your design really flexible. So
Mhm.
collaborations, what's your ideas towards, I mean, not just your thing, toward collaboration itself? What do you think the collaboration means to you?
I think collaboration means working with like different people together to inspire each other,
Yeah,
um, like in both ways. And this is very important because sometimes when you're working by yourself, you would be stuck in your mind. And
yeah, true.
maybe
That's
you will
very
go
true.
very good, or maybe you will go into the wrong direction.
Yeah,
And it's very always very interesting to talk to different people, to learn from the other people, to see from the other people's aspect.
perspective. Yeah.
Like a tree, it offers like a lot of different angles, different view.
Mm-hmm.
Every angle you will see a different image basically, and this is what makes it beautiful, and this is like a nature. And I think people should really appreciate this kind of working and also seeing from different views. This is quite important for an artist, I think. Yeah.
No, I think that's really interesting. I like the way like how people collaborate because it just always makes something new and different from like because originally you probably have like ideas, oh maybe this brand will be a little bit like that. But after that, I mean, like the collaboration just make it feel like, oh, maybe I can think about the other way around. Maybe this brand could be even more like this, and just like really bring you more ideas about, oh, like how did this brand or like this person or this person's design or this art in a way. So yeah. So okay. So about future. So what's your future plan? What's your vision for a future?
Okay, so my future plan, wow, that's very
Yeah.
big.
I know anything.
Yeah, so I would like La Mandorle to be more more people would recognize this brand, not just because of our jewelries or our designs. It's more also like the idea of loving the planet and trying to pay back to the planet as well. Because I would like people to have, I would like to create a more of a people of like more conscious consumers. Do you get what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
people
Yeah.
do have a thoughtful mind in shopping, but to be honest, since I'm back to Hong Kong for now, like half a year now,
Hmm.
I think in general these days I was very happy to see like people are more conscious about like what they're buying, what they shop. But since I'm back to Asia, this really makes me feel that wow, it's actually still a bit slow in developing in this kind of direction.
Mindset. Yeah.
Exactly, yes, yes. Because it's just too fast. Like things in Asia are too fast. Even fashion. We're not just talking about H&M or Zara. There's a lot of like mini brands
Yeah.
or yeah, manufacturer. It's everywhere. You can actually just pay like pennies to get like a pair of trousers, which I was
Mm,
quite shocked
sure.
seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I just hope that in Asia area we can have also some like more sustainable brands or artists to work together to maybe try to push the boundary and help the world basically. Yeah, to develop like a
Yeah.
better future for everyone basically. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like everyone's in now, I mean, yeah, always, I guess, in a way, need to have like the sense of like responsibilities of like what choices you make will actually impact on the bigger things. Like I watch a lot of like documentary this day, like conspiracies and other things. It's just like amazed to know that even fish, it's not exactly that fishing like this like industry. It's not exactly the same thing that as
Mhm.
I thought.
Yeah.
Of course, in fashion and so many other things, so all the decision we make will actually create some sort of kind of big or small impact to the world. So this conscious is something that we should always put in mind. And obviously, I love the idea of like being advocating Asia on creating this kind of mindset. So okay, I need to ask this because this is about the topic of this like issue. So tell me something new.
Tell you something.
Anything. Yeah, something new, anything new.
Mm, okay, so I mean, I'm still learning, but
Yeah.
recently I have like basically a little touch in more a crypto world. So
Oh.
NFT, yes. Uh,
God. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Keep
I'm
going.
a newbie, but I think it's quite interesting for artists to reach out as well. As in it's a
Yeah.
decentralization, like a very decentralized
Uh,
blockchain situation, which I think for NFT, which stands for non-fungible token,
yeah.
there's a lot of marketplaces on the like website now for
Uh-huh.
people to buy and sell basically. And I think it's going to be more approachable for different people to, for artists especially, to reach out to different sector rather than just you have to go through an agency or you have to go through a gallery. You can actually do it yourself if
Yeah.
you producing like quality goods stuff. You would be able to reach out, yeah,
Yeah,
easier.
I love this. I love that you bring up NFT because I was so obsessed with this say too. Do you know people?
People.
People
Oh,
like
yeah.
people. Yeah, it's just like I mean it's crazy because it's an NFT artwork, and from Christie, how much like money people willing to pay for that
Yes.
artwork. It's just, oh god, this is just really such a new thing to me. I was like, wow. I mean, I love
Yeah.
that. I mean, people are
Yeah.
starting to understand this. So, well, I'm sure we're gonna talk a little bit more about this later, but I mean, thank you for coming today, and I'm sure I really love the conversation we have. And then, yeah,
Same
thank
here.
you.